Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, make some noise. Pierce the Veil. Yeah. Right here. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Congratulations on the record, on the tour, on everything going on. And I just saw this the other day, Circles just nominated Song of the Year by Alternative Press Music Awards.
Yeah.
Dude, it's you guys are in a pretty good place right now, I'd imagine, right? You're feeling pretty good? You're riding high?
We're doing pretty well for ourselves.
Not doing too bad.
So good.
Good to be here.
Yeah, it's nice to have you guys here. And also, while we're talking about amazing things you've been nominated for, you guys just won the iHeartRadio 2017 award for Best Underground Alternative Band recently. That's a pretty high honor, considering it's determined by fans and listeners and stuff like that. What did that victory feel like for you guys?
Honestly, that's the only awards that count are the fan-voted ones,
Yeah.
I think, in my mind.
I think in all our minds, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for voting and
Thank
making
you.
that possible.
That isn't the first fan award we've ever won, so it definitely shows that we definitely have the best fans. And
For sure. I think, yeah, you guys, your fans have actually won awards themselves. So I was looking for things that they were nominated for, like Best Fan Base and Best Movement and stuff like that. And you guys definitely have a collection of awards from your fans. You know, you guys have been in the business 10 plus years now, right? You've been doing this for a while. You've got one of the most incredible fan bases ever. But I know how important like grassroots and authenticity is for you guys. What does the word within this context underground kind of mean for you? You know,
Honestly,
We live under a rock.
yeah.
That's where we.
Oh, it's a literal thing.
It's a
for you.
literal
Okay.
thing.
Yeah, it's best.
We're not in the bus. We're underneath the bus.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I mean, I always kind of think of it as like we're not like mainstream, like I don't know what underground means these days, but I feel like we have like it's something different with our fans. Like we have a connection. I think we grew up with a lot of our fans since the beginning, and I don't know.
We don't know what it is, but apparently we're good at it.
Yeah, we're good at
one of the
being
best. From what I understand, one of the best.
we're like to the point where we're not popular enough to be.
like Bruno Mars is up here.
Yeah, we're like
and
right
still
underneath.
chilling. We're still chilling down
I
here.
wouldn't go that far.
Well,
now.
okay, around here.
Okay, there you go. Maybe that.
I think
don't
it
put
could
yourself
probably
short. You guys are
be
incredible.
defined. If I asked this old lady who
Yeah.
Bruno Mars is, she probably would know. But if I asked her who Pierce the Veil is, she'd probably not know.
To be fair, she's here every day asking when we're going to get Bruno Mars. So I can tell you right now she's going to say yes to that. She's going to know. But
She's got
That's the
her Bruno
definition.
Mars on her chest, just tattooed.
Ooh, yeah.
Huge fan.
oh my God, that'd be amazing.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be incredible. All right, well, we'll never know now. She's gone.
Yeah. Are these for us?
Yeah, those are yours.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, should be water. Is it?
Vodka, but that's fine.
Fair enough. That's water somewhere, right?
Yeah.
At one point, that was water. Speaking of being in the game for a minute, I believe was it June 26th of this year is going to be the 10-year anniversary of
10 years old.
Flair for the Dramatic, which round of applause because
Getting old.
that you're still kicking out awesome freaking albums. 10 years later, this is your fourth album. It's incredible. We're going to talk about that album in a second. But what I wanted to ask is, looking back, 10 years on now since that record dropped, looking at the process and how you guys sort of approached songwriting and recording back then versus how you kind of look at it now. Like, every time you go in the studio, you learn something new, be it about the process or the band itself. So kind of compare, contrast, and run down the line if you don't mind.
Oh, wow.
Making you work.
It's a great question.
I'm glad
Vic,
you asked that
go ahead
question.
and take that one. All of it.
All of it.
Yeah. It's all your.
Yeah.
You, Vic.
I think it's like you said, every time you do a record, you learn a lot about your band, you learn about yourself as well, it's as much as you want all of them to be the same, they can never be the same. If we're like, oh, that last record was awesome, let's do it again. Yeah. You can't. It's always going to be different. Every song's going to be different. The experience is always going to change, and that's part of the beauty of it and the challenge as well. So there's my answer. How was it?
Great.
All right.
Next question. Jeez.
Nice.
Oh, we're good.
Holy smokes.
We're all going to wait. That's it.
That was awesome. Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, of course.
I also agree
Yeah.
with you.
Mike, anything to add?
He's like, nah, man, that last record was cake.
No. Our records are never easy to make. We put everything into them, and I think Vic almost died on this last one.
Almost
so
died.
the fact that he's alive now is a great thing.
You almost died on the last one.
It almost. I put so much into it.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
He was
Got
just
it.
skin and bones.
Well, I think you definitely...
Skeleton man.
That's something you do hear is that you guys put a lot into it for sure. Was there anything looking back, forget about comparing and contrasting, but was there a trick or something that you guys did maybe on that first record that you're like, I can't believe we recorded that way or did that way?
Yeah, the trick was we didn't have Jaime in the band yet.
Yeah.
By that time.
That was a
I think
trick.
that's
a
probably
hell of a
why it
trick.
went
Yeah.
so smoothly.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, I just
So
played all the
crazy.
bass.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I think, the first record is the record that you've been writing your whole life. Basically, you've been gearing up for that since you were a teenager, since you were a kid, and I think you're ready for that one. And then the next ones you have to kind of create as you're on the road and as you're going. It's a different kind of experience.
Well, yeah, there's that myth, the sophomore slump that you got that pressure on you. You just drop this amazing record. You want to make sure you follow up and all that sort of stuff. Do you
Yeah,
guys
well,
feel
I mean, for us, it was actually a slow build. I think that first record, nobody knew us for the first record. And it's
Weird.
Actually, what? Yeah.
Weird. I wasn't there.
Yeah, it is kind of weird, huh? As soon as we added
What
Jaime,
does that say?
the band just skyrocketed.
I would drop the mic, but I can't because I need it.
we can get you another one. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, slow build was that was our since day one. We kind of wanted to grow, and I think we did that with the records and stuff. And I think until I think we put out Collide with the Sky, we're like on Warped Tour, and we like noticed more and more fans showing up to our show because it was like a festival, So if people are there watching, it's because they probably stopped and.
Yeah, it's cool
wanted to pay
playing
attention.
songs off that first record now because we recently, our fans have been asking for us to play old songs, and we honestly didn't think that they would know them, and but now they're asking for them, and it's awesome because it's almost like those songs have never really been heard because the last time we played them, we were playing to like 5 people in a coffee shop, and now we can play them to our actual big crowds of fans, and it's like a new experience for the record.
It's pretty funny. When I listen to that first record, I do think this should be in a coffee shop live.
Exactly.
What were some of those shows like when you guys were booking around and just trying to play out? Was it literally like a we'll play anywhere that'll have us mentality?
We actually had a show one time where it didn't get promoted.
It was in Alabama, I think.
Yeah, and we showed up to play, and they actually even for some reason had a curtain in front of the stage. So we're back there getting ready. The curtain goes away, and there's no one there. It's just 2 people that happen to be sitting at the bar.
Not even the other bands?
And then the bartender staring at us.
I think
It
the
was just
room
us
was
by
like
ourselves.
maybe if you put a line like a wall right here, and we're on the stage, like he said, in the little bar, and there was like 2 like patrons, and we were like ready to go. We're like,
Guys,
do it, boys.
don't screw it up.
And this thing, and then like two like it's like a guy and a girl at the bar having a cocktail, and
Every now and then you get like a. That's not it.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. If you can get that, that's
It was
not bad.
basically like band practice. We just
Yeah.
took it like, okay.
we had a good time, but it was just like stuff like that makes me like so thankful that we can do like stuff like this and play shows like we're playing now, and like it's wild. It's so wild to be able to play those songs that we did in that like bar and play them to.
I think everybody that's ever played in a band or has had one of those shows where they've
Yeah.
played for the bartender.
We
and,
seem
and,
to
like,
have
their
a lot
ride.
of those shows in the beginning.
Well, yeah, right. 'Cause that's part of it. But for me, hey, the curtain
Yeah.
is the best part of that
The slow
story.
curtain was pretty
Because
rough.
At least you know when you're in an empty room. All right, guys, let's
Yeah.
go up and play to the empty room.
We didn't
but the
know.
idea of you building it up.
Yeah,
The slow
we're expecting like maybe 20, 30 kids, maybe.
Yeah, and that's a great night if you can get that in the
Yeah.
early days.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, look, here you are now. As you said, way more than 20, 30 kids in the room right now. I mean, you guys at home can't see this, but we got like 40, 50,000 people in here.
50,000.
And,
oh.
yeah, it's pretty incredible.
Hey.
It's a little overwhelming, honestly. Yeah,
You guys
yeah.
can add the
but
tracks.
but you guys handle it well.
I learned this from watching Conan O'Brien.
What's
like
that?
He walks out and he like points like this to people in the crowd, and, like as if there's this amazing huge crowd.
There's not. I love it.
It sells it. It sells. It's all smoke and mirrors, man.
Yeah, we played Conan O'Brien.
Yeah. How did that go? Yeah. I'm sorry. Do you want to pick up that name real quick?
Nice,
you guys?
nice segment.
That was actually just me being a fan. Like
Yeah.
I watch him.
No,
It was a good
Oh,
segment.
who isn't a fan of him,
Yeah.
right? Like that must have been incredible.
It was insane. It was
Yeah.
yeah. It
I
was-
gave him my guitar.
Did you really?
I did.
Oh my God, he must have loved that.
I think he loved it.
We hope.
It's-
We
it's
hope.
probably.
I'm thinking it's in like a shed
we have
right
stories
now.
that it's probably
We
in
try to
some-
give it back to you on the way out. Like, sir, you forgot this.
I want to believe that he's got like a guitar graveyard that like every artist just gives him. He's like, hey Frank, just put it with the other ones. Just, it
Throw it in a pile.
I
like
hope
a
that's not
sad,
true, but
broken
yeah.
guitars in the corner.
was a nice guitar.
Yeah.
But it was
Still is.
awesome. Yeah, it was a absolute honor to be on that show and his presence.
It's very nerve-wracking too, because when we go to play on the show, he leaves his desk and seriously goes like where you guys are, and he's watching us play.
Because he's a
And
huge
it's like, come
musician.
on, like
the dude, he loves it.
don't stand there, like get out of here, like don't.
And he's also
So
a
much
very
pressure.
tall man. Like he's a big guy.
He's a
Like
mountain.
and having that shadowy figure right here,
Monolith, just a tall shadow.
just judging you with his eyes.
Does he react at all, or does he just?
No, it was like I said, it was like a statue.
It's like Carson watching a comic. He just quietly
Yeah,
lets it
just-
happen, and then.
And you don't know if he's like pumped, and then as soon as the camera goes on, hey, all right, that was fantastic. All right.
Oh man.
You really did it. Good job, guys.
That's pretty incredible. I do want to talk a little bit more about the album because the clock is ticking down, and I'll be damned if I'm going to deprive any of the fans some time to ask you questions. So I got to squeeze a lot of stuff in here that I wanted to talk to you about. We just saw the video for Floral and Fading, and for those at home, if you're just tuning in, if you missed it, you know where to find it. You can find it on YouTube to catch up. But this track in particular, I want to talk about because it's probably the one on the record that is the biggest departure. Right? It sounds the least like Pierce the Veil, yet. It's an awesome track. You still pull it off. It's still amazing, but there's so many little subtle things. Like your singing voice is a little bit closer to your natural voice. You drop the song down a tempo a little bit. How did you guys create something so dramatically different than what you would normally produce and put out? Where did this song start?
We usually like to do one track on the record that's sort of an experiment, and a lot of times that turns out to be a fan favorite because it's so different. And so that was one that it started off. It was sort of like a skeleton that we just built, and we didn't know where it was going really, but we liked the vibe of it, and we just kind of kept with it. And by the end of it, we came out with something really different, and for our band, and it was super fun.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those like Black Sheep songs. We're like, what are we gonna do with this, and like, where are we gonna put it? And we just kind of. And as soon as the song was finished and we, recorded it, it was like, I think it was like the hardest one to put in the track listing. Like, where do we put it early? Do we put it later? We don't want to hit them with a curveball too soon. And they're like, what? Later? So it was kind of
our
like.
producer's like, first song, let's go.
We're like, be bold, man. Go.
You're crazy.
All in.
You're crazy, man. I love you. But you're crazy.
Offspring used to do that too, right? Like Offspring
they
would put out a crazy album, then just drop like Don't Pick It Up or like Pretty Fly for a White Guy in the middle of there, just like
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what is this? And it was the one that would blow up. It would be everywhere.
It's so weird how that works. Like with a band, you never really know what fans are gonna grasp and hang on to. So you're just kind of like, and that's I think with I think Circles was like that too. Like our song, we did not expect that to be the single at all. And then I think everybody around us was like, when you're so like caught up in studio and you're like, you're in the surrounded by the four walls. You're like, I don't know what's going on. And then they're like, yeah, that's the one. Like, really? Yeah. Cool.
Was Dan, your producer on the album, you guys worked with him before in the past, stuff like that. Was he sort of a guiding light? Usually the producer is that kind of voice to help get you guys back on track and keep you moving forward. What was it like working with him again? And was he that voice for you guys as you were trying to figure things out? Or?
Yeah, Dan is. Dan's like, I don't know. He's the producer that we always dreamed of having. You as a band, you're always like, man, I hope we can find a producer that's like our guy that we're always going to work with that can make all our musical dreams come to life. And we really found that in Dan. He's just super hardworking. We tend to be like really crazy, of all hours of the night working on our records, and he's the same way. So we always wanted a dude like that could just be by our side the whole time and put the effort in and put the passion into it. And I remember 4 or 5 in the morning just sitting with him and just like working on the record, and it's just him just being like, man, I hope people like this. I hope they appreciate what we're doing right now. That's the kind of person that we want. For our team.
That's a really special like relationship and bond that you have to find. A lot of people don't realize it. I think nowadays with the internet and people seeing more of the behind the scenes, producers are starting to get more of their due, but they really become like an additional band member for that period of time.
Sneaky fifth member. We call him.
Exactly.
He's back there. Just
he has a slightly smaller chair that's in the back. We're gonna bring him out in a second. Very cool. I want to talk about the artwork on this. This is pretty baller. We just had All Time Low is here the other day, and they had a similar thing. You guys have both achieved. It's completely different art. I'm not saying you have the same artwork as All Time Low, but what you guys have done.
All Time Low?
Never heard of him? Up and comers. They're gonna be big. But what you guys have both achieved, and what I was commenting on from a design standpoint, is what's really hard to do is the organized chaos sort of graphic explosion that's still composed and not just an absolute mess. This is very much composed, and there's a lot of very cool things going on here. What is the story behind this? Vic, I heard you worked on the art. Did you draw this? Did you or no?
I did a really crude version of this
Yeah.
on a hotel paper, and I was working on it pretty much throughout while we were recording, just kind of doing little doodles and adding to it. I just had this idea for a Swiss Army knife that had a lot of abstract things coming out of it. So this final project. This is actually a photograph. I don't know if you probably can't tell that, but you see the shadows and stuff.
Yeah, you can see the depth.
This is
Sure.
all real paper cut out, all by hand, all hand drawn, and it was done by our artist Mike Cortada, and we spent months doing the entire album art because every single lyric inside the booklet is all cut out, and it's all. We wanted to make something that kind of was nostalgic of the old punk flyers that we used to make growing up for our shows, because I used to sit in my bedroom and draw all of our flyers by hand, and get glue and tape and cut them all up and put them together and go to FedEx, Kinko's, and Xerox 1,000 of them, and so that's kind of what we wanted to capture with the art. So.
I think you guys definitely nailed that. And also, my favorite little characters are the happy and sad Dr. Mario pills.
Yes.
Yeah.
Over there on the right.
Dr.
You're going to tell me that's not what that is? Look at that. That's a Dr. Mario pill if I've ever seen one. Come on now. That is.
The apple actually represents New York.
No
because
way.
We recorded it in Long Island, so
Yeah.
that's
Shout out.
that's New York.
Shout
right
out.
there.
Anything? Long Island? There we Not quite the response Brooklyn usually gets in
Yeah.
this. Let's
go, New York!
But I'll take it.
Some people. I'm
A few more things, a couple other things I want to touch on before we throw over to the audience. Get your wheels spinning, guys. We're going to take some questions in a second. Jaime, I heard that you actually sort of orchestrate and put together a lot of the sets for the tour before you guys get out there on the road. What goes into that process? What are you using to do that? How are you putting all these things together? How do you see it in your head?
I mean, it's a collaborative effort. I think for me, coming from an audio background, I think it's cool to kind of it's cool. It's
If
always
you guys don't know, Jaime grew up recording bands before he was in our band, and still actually he recorded local bands, and he was a producer. So.
Yeah. So having that in the band is super crucial, I think, to our production, because we're very hands-on with everything about our band and about our show. And I think we just try to kind of create an atmosphere when you walk into the doors of the venue, and have this from the moment you leave, or from the moment you get there to the moment you leave, you're just completely in a different world, And I think we try to do that on stage with set pieces and crazy intros that are super elaborate, and we have fun with it. I think we take a page out of going to Disneyland and being in line for a ride and being where am I right now? This is insane, So setting it up with audio and stuff. I don't know if you guys, if anyone of you guys seen the on the Made to Destroy tour. Did anyone go to that show with that animated intro we made? All the audio. That was the first time of me doing all the audio for that, and it was crazy but super fun. And a lot of people don't really
There's always a little fear inside
Yeah.
of us that he's going to leave us and go work for Disney and start doing sound for some movies or something.
So it's fun. We have a lot of fun, and like I said, it's cool to have that. Vic went to school for graphic design, and so that's also super crucial to have as that. So it's.
I think it just speaks to the longevity of the band, the reason you guys are where you are 10 years in, the reason you're all up here having a great time laughing. You literally pour every bit of yourself into everything you do. The artwork, the recording, the live shows. It's why your fans are as passionate as they are. It's why this record kicks as much ass as it does.
And that's why this is vodka.
And that's why you, sir, get the finest. I do want to turn it over to audience, get some questions in, get as many as we can. I see some microphones out there. I believe the first one is that right here in the front. All right, let's go ahead.
Who's got a microphone? Oh, yes.
Hi.
Hello.
How's it going?
Hi. Oh my God. Anyway, I was wondering what's the weirdest thing that ever happened to you on tour?
Ooh.
Out of the 10 years,
The weirdest.
the weirdest thing. I don't.
God.
Everyone's looking at me what did you do, Jaime?
What'd you do?
So many.
What'd you do?
God.
I remember one time, I don't know why this came to mind. It was Thanksgiving. we had a bus driver who liked to cook, and we were away from home. You know, we didn't get to have our families or no mom cooking for you or anything. And our bus driver, he wanted to make a whole meal for us, and it included this special salsa that he loved to make. But we had no blender, so what he did was he put all the ingredients, like triple bagged it.
This was like I think all of us were involved.
Yeah,
in
this is in a parking lot of a hotel.
Yeah, this is in a hotel parking lot, and so he put the ingredients under the bus tire, and then Mike drove the bus back and forth over it, and then created his amazing salsa. And
It was extra chunky.
Yeah.
But it worked. It kind of worked.
It
I don't know
definitely
how.
worked, yeah.
It only, I think, this much salsa. But
Yeah. It was my first time driving a bus, too, so that was pretty
that's
cool.
pretty weird. We made homemade salsa from a bus.
How did it not all explode out of the bag?
Triple bag.
Triple
it was
bag,
like
dude.
four,
The triple bag
four
method is
bags.
clutch, I see. All right,
I
you
feel
got
like
You weren't
we're plugging Ziploc right now.
rookie mistake to
Always
triple bag
use
it. You got to triple bag it. Okay.
Always triple bag it. Ziploc. Not to be used without permission, 2017, 100% out here. You know.
We're going to steamroll over that and go to our next question right over here.
I wanted to know, how did you guys get your name, Pierce the Veil?
Get our name?
Yeah.
How did we get our name? Well, back in the day,
Wednesday.
I was in college at one point in my life.
Yep.
What year was that, Chaim?
It was in 1942.
1942.
Good year. Very
Great
good
year.
That's a great
good,
year.
Good scotch.
Yeah, I was in a sociology class. I heard the teacher say something about to pierce the corporate veil, and he was talking about if there's a problem in your company, you go to the root of the problem and you cut it out from that root. And I was like, I wrote it down and I was thinking about it, and I was like, that's sort of, I can relate that to life by just saying pierce the veil. Like if you have something in your life that is building up or bringing you down, you can just figure out what that is and just cut it out of your life completely at the source, and boom, pierce the veil happened.
Just like that.
And that was it.
Born. Next question, second row right here.
Hi. So after you guys have been together for so long and you've accomplished so much, what's something that you've left to accomplish that you want to accomplish, say, in the next 5 years?
Ooh. I want to learn how to grow facial hair.
You would look so weird.
I would look like my dad.
Would it be straight?
It was, yeah, just super straight. No, I don't know. We're doing a lot of, I think this year and last year we've done a lot of first things for us. We were playing a bunch of these radio rock festivals that we've never done. We're going to go to Europe and play Download, which we've never done. This is awesome. We got to play Conan.
Yeah. What do we want to do though?
Why? No, well, I'm just saying. I mean,
what's the next thing?
I don't know.
We've still never played a show in Hawaii. I'd like to do that.
Yeah. Now you're talking.
Hawaii.
You want a little vacay, huh?
The first band to play a show on the moon.
There you go.
There you go.
2025.
Guy's always dreaming, man.
Yeah.
When do we get to the point where we're like, let's just go play a show in Dubai, or when can we make that call? Are we
Right.
Are we there? I don't think
For
we're
a second, I
there.
thought you were asking me. I was like, that is a big.
Well,
I have no idea.
you're part of our
don't-
team.
You're hired. What do we do?
I just made sure you had water in the mugs. That's as far as they trust me
Yeah.
here. But
I would like to go back to Japan again. I thought that place was pretty wild. It was like another world. It's literally like another world.
yeah, no one's ever
we've
come
already
back
done
from
that, though.
Japan and was like, meh. Everyone's always said it's
It's-
crazy over there. Yeah, it's another planet.
They are really doing it over there. That's all I can say. Whoa.
Getting it done in
Getting it
Japan.
done.
Just getting it
I
done.
definitely crawled out of a bar at 8 a.m. in Japan.
There you go.
I remember that.
Crawled.
Very adamant about that. If you stumble out, you've got to do it over. It needs to be a crawl. We have one more, two more. We got one more.
We're going to take our final question from an online viewer. So Nancy would like to know, who are your greatest musical idols?
Greatest musical
Whoa.
idols. Go, Chaim. Go.
Greatest musical idols. I think growing up, my family is Hispanic. We're all Mexican, and growing up, I used to listen to a lot of Selena. Yeah, that was one of them. No, my dad loved Carlos.
Don't you have
Santana.
a Ricky Martin T-shirt or something?
My grandma, rest in peace. She got me a Ricky Martin T-shirt when I was really young, when he was coming out, and the shirt said, it had Ricky Martin's face on it, and it said "Living the Vida Loca," and she said, "Porque mijo, tu vida es bien loca," which means you're living a crazy life, And it was right when we started touring and stuff, and I was like, you know what, I am crazy, Grandma.
Yeah.
So That was awesome. But yeah, a lot of like Hispanic stuff when I was growing up. Yeah, Carlos Santana. Santana.
I don't know. I mean, for me and Mike, we always said our dad. Our dad taught us how to play, gave us the building
tools.
blocks for, what we've created today, and then still kind of is always in the back of our minds, of the lessons that he taught us, and the not just how to play, but how to feel about music and stuff like that was a big part of it, and it still is. So
We still practice like
Papa.
at their parents' house.
No way.
Yeah, it's still we like have like a studio there, and he's always so funny.
Always cruises in.
He always cruises in to
Cruises
hear
in,
like the
he's-
new intro or the new thing we added to the song, and he's like,
He's cooking carne asada
"That's
out there.
killer!"
He's like, you guys
and
hungry?
we always know if it's like good because he'll be like, "That's killer, boys."
Yeah.
So it's always cool. It's always cool to have that kind of.
Yeah.
It is
We'll be
really
done with practice, and he'll waltz in while we're taking our guitars off. He'll oh, let me hear that intro again. Come on.
Yeah.
And we're like, all right,
Turn
let's
everything.
play it again.
Yeah.
That's very cool. That's his way of getting you to just keep practicing.
Yeah, maybe that is.
I didn't mean to
Secretly.
blow that up. I mean, I'm sure he likes it too. But, it's just dad doing dad stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to let you go, but I have one question that I wanted to personally ask. It's kind of a dumb one, but I'm fascinated. How long did the neck tattoos take, man? How many hours?
Ooh.
How many hours? That is brutal.
I had 3 sessions on mine.
3?
I think they were each maybe like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
No way.
Each piece kind of took like 3 hours each.
And what is yours? I'm supposed to know what it says. but
The middle says heart and soul.
Heart and soul. Which
Nice.
is what you guys.
Vic's got
put
a bunch
there.
of tattoos, but they're all black light, like invisible.
We can make that happen, actually.
goes-
We can get some black light.
He secretly goes out to these
No?
black light clubs and just
Just glows.
Yeah,
It's like a
glows.
beacon.
yeah.
Guys, legitimately, we could do this for hours. I had a lot of fun with you here, but I do have to let you go. I want to thank you guys for your wonderful questions. You were a fantastic audience.
Thank you, guys.
I want to congratulate you on the record.
Love you.
Everyone, go see him on the We Will Detonate tour. Guys, thank you so much. One more time. Pierce the Veil, make some noise. Come on.